Welcome to T Boys TV. We're back again with another live stream. Obviously, we're back again with the Premier League review, or another one, shall I say. Obviously, game week 16. Obviously, the last game week before the World Cup, and then obviously the next games are after Christmas now. So, yeah, man. Obviously, a lot of really good games, which we're going to get into. But of course, as you can see on the thumbnail, I'm joined with the guy, the one, the only, Hanno. How are we, mate?
I'm good. I can't speak on behalf of Chelsea because if you know, you know.
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
so yeah,
exactly.
but no, I'm good. Good. Getting ready for the exams. School,
Nice. Yeah,
school,
good luck
school.
in them, mate. 100%. Hopefully you do well in them.
Yeah,
And
hopefully, but yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, keep working hard, mate. Keep working hard, and I'm sure you'll smash them. That's for sure. But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously 10 games, like always, unless there's games postponed, but obviously wasn't, especially if it being the World Cup coming up. Obviously that's not going to happen. And the first game, 12:30 kickoff. Now annoying because I usually like to watch these games if I don't go to Luton, and obviously I didn't go to Luton, but I didn't quite get to watch this one. But obviously I had the notifications on my phone and that. And when I saw, Brentford go 1-0 up, I was like, wow, and like I said, going into the game, Brentford are a good team. But this is Man City away. You know what they're like most of the time, especially Brentford away as well this year. They've took a few pumpings, and Man City have pumped a few teams as well. So I look at it like that, and obviously I said 2-0. I knew it wasn't going to be a battering from City, but I just didn't expect it to be, as close as it was with the sense of Brentford, scoring like they did. But obviously, Ivan Toney took the lead, showing why he should be in the England squad. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the betting thing. But again, I need to find out when that was because I'm not sure if that was recently or not. If it's recently, then fair enough. But if it's a while ago, then why did you give him the opportunity in the first place? Well, I say opportunity, you just put him on there and didn't even let him have a go. Do you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. I need to see when it is, like I said. But Man City, obviously they weren't great in this game, especially at home. They're usually on the front foot. They're a lot better. Unfortunately, my cousin, shout out James, as you lot know, Brentford fan, been on the channel a few times. Not really on watch longs, except the Champions League final, which has been chilling in the background. But yeah, man, unfortunately, he didn't go to this one. I did ask him when they took the lead. I was like, have you gone to this one? And obviously, he said, no, he's feeling ill, which is gutting. That's the only reason he didn't go. And yeah, obviously, I took the lead, Ivan Toney. And then right before half time, Foden did score a very good goal. I'll be honest, a very good goal. Roof in the net, brilliant strike to make it 1-1 right on half time, like I said. Going into the second half, I don't know. After seeing, this game, it felt like I said, it weren't Man City how they usually are at home, and it did feel like Brentford were going to get another goal. They did have a lot of chances before that. There was a chance where Ederson had to make a save again. Yeah, it was Toney. It was Toney again. He just cut through so easily. He just done a turn, and I was thinking, from that moment in, looking at it like that, it looked like they were going to score another one. Like I said, I didn't watch it live, but seeing it from that. And then obviously they did. Ivan Toney, ball played across, and City, like I said, it's weird to see them like this, especially at home, very open. And all it was a pass across, and then they won the game. Massive shout out to Brentford. They worked hard. We know the Etihad is not an easy place to go and win. And Brentford, especially with how they've been away as well this season. Took a heavy defeat to Newcastle. There's been a few others, but I just can't think from the top of my head. They haven't been great overall. So massive shout out to them. As for City, like I said, they just didn't really look like great. Like, I know a lot of the recent games, even before this, they haven't necessarily been the best. You look at the Champions League games, a couple 0-0s, 0-0 away to Dortmund. Dortmund should have really scored in that one. Copenhagen, maybe they should have really won that one because that goal they got disallowed was stupid. But still, they weren't overly great. Liverpool, as we know, there is games you look at like that. They're not scoring a lot of goals like they were, towards the start of the season. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. Like I said, I do feel gutted for my cousin. Like I said, Brentford follows them home and away. Unfortunately, he didn't manage to go to this one because he was ill. He would have went otherwise. He'd have loved it. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it. Hanno, your thoughts on it, mate?
Yeah, again, on this game, before I get to what I really want to talk about Brentford and be angry at them, well done to all done. City, I don't want to say you saw it against us in midweek, but you saw with a team that couldn't create anything against Newcastle. We created a few big opportunities against Man City, and we probably should have um, gotten a goal versus them in midweek. But this just shows um, our Brentford and City. Our Brentford can turn up at any day if they want, and City they are vulnerable. Uh, Ireland, I don't know how he didn't score, but okay. Um, you just need to shoot. Use your left foot. Use it. Um, but yeah, City, well done. Not City, Brentford, well done. But there was no need for you to win. There was absolutely no need. Why? Why go on and win? Now also 5 points clear. Why? There was no need. No need to win. No need. Nobody was expecting you to win. You don't fight for anything. No need. But it is what it is. But yeah, well done, Brentford and the Bees. Well, they beat both Manchester clubs so far this season, so they're
Yeah,
doing
that's true.
something. Right, so yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And just quickly, before we move on, it goes back to what I said. I knew it wasn't going to be a battering from City. A lot of people said that, and I just knew, these 12-30 games as well. They can be, teams are not really always, the one you expect to win, for example, doesn't really tend to play overly great. Like look at Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, for example. They just don't really seem to do well. But like I said, I just didn't expect it. Especially with how City were. Brentford just looked like they wanted it more. City they were quite open at times. Like I said, the second goal, like the Ivan Toney winner, right place, right time. But I just felt the way the ball got played across was just too easy. Even when he got in behind on the chance before that, he just done one little movement to the right, and it was simple. It was simple, really. Ederson, made himself look big, done well there, but defensively, I think they're all over the place. But like I said, credit to Brentford. Especially with how they've been away from home. Going to the Etihad and winning, like I said, it's not always easy. So yeah, man, that's what we said on that one. I'm gonna go through some comments. Big up Shay says, Yoti, big up yourself. I don't know says, hey Hanno, what team do you support in the World Cup? Yeah, I'm interested to know actually.
At this point, I'm just going to support the underdogs. Probably going to go with Denmark or Croatia. That's probably going to be my teams.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Or maybe Senegal. But I just want Ghana to finish fourth in their group. That's all I want. They should not be at the World Cup, so they can be spanked up. That would be very good. But yeah, no, that. But yeah.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough then. T-Boy dropping it like it's hot. Snoop with another bad boy show, featuring Hanno Solo. Oh my days. Ravi with all the madness that he usually says. Yeah, I see something like that. I get random like Twitter notifications, right? It could be like about some team that I don't even follow. And it just come up and I saw something earlier. I was like, what the hell? Tony was great in the game. Yeah, shut up all the critics. Well, it's not even like people don't think he's good. It's just I don't know. It's just obviously he didn't get Southgate clearly don't. But again, I said I don't actually know when that betting thing was. What's that? Sorry.
It's not Southgate. It's South Road.
Oh yeah, South Fraud. Yeah. I should know that, shouldn't I? Yeah, especially me. I should know that. Grealish needed to start. You reckon? Yeah, you could say that. You could say. Like I said, I just felt
He was sorry. He should have for me. If you look at it.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's doing a lot better this season, which I did expect. So I do definitely agree with that. Big up Wolf. He says, "Hey Tyler and Hanno, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Cheers for tuning in. Don't know whether or not I should watch the World Cup. Even though I don't like when it is, stuff like that. I will watch it, of course, as you don't know. I would watch it, mate, and I'll tell you why I'd watch it, especially with Canada being in it. Now, I'm not trying to sound disrespectful, but you never know if they're going to be in the next World Cup. So that's what I'm going to say there. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to say there. But then again, England have Southgate, so Ravi says every once in a blue moon, pardon the pun, City do have them big L rest in peace type game for. Yeah, every now and then. I just didn't expect it to be this one, and I'm sure a lot of you have. Well, we said that, innit? If I was Pep, I would play Cole Palmer for the odd 15 to 10 minutes in games. Yeah, I'd agree with that. He looks really good from what I have seen of him. He does look really good. Big up, I don't know. Is that dollars? I might act like, I don't move with currency. I am absolutely shocking. My maths was terrible. The whole lot, yeah. Maths was not a good point in my time at school. So, yeah, that is. Big up yourself, mate. He sent $5. Do you know what I mean? He says you deserve it and more. Big up yourself, mate. Much appreciated for that. Like I said, all the money I receive on YouTube, goes back into the channel. And I'm actually going to get it soon. Woohoo! And yeah, I'm already planning to get something for the World Cup, actually. I think it's just a cool addition. But yeah, man. Are they? Is it official? Or I just know loads of countries are trying to do it, but is it official? Let me know. South Africa looks good, Hanno. Yeah, it does look decent, doesn't it? When he first joined the backstage bit, I was like, oh, it's sunny out there. Do you know what I mean? Over in the UK, there's this hella John Cena's. Do you know what I mean? You can't see nothing. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Did you want to say something there, Hannah?
No.
All right, fair enough. Moving on to the next game. Woohoo!
If a joke gets battered, everywhere goes.
Oh dear. But yeah, Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. I did say 1-0 Liverpool. I thought it'd be a lot closer. To be fair, if it weren't for both goalkeepers, God knows, honestly. But let's get into it. So obviously, Liverpool did take the lead. Oh, hold up, let me just put my laptop on charge. Liverpool did take the lead. Firmino, obviously, he's not in the World Cup squad. Obviously, he scored a really good goal in this game. Stand by it. Him and Diaz have definitely been the best two. Obviously, Diaz has been out for a while now, but best two forwards for me this season. And obviously, he took the lead for Liverpool. Brilliant header. Keeper had no chance. Obviously, as you don't know, Luton being one of my teams, it was so weird seeing Nathan Jones on that touchline. You know what I mean? It was even when he was walking out like an hour before just to look at Anfield and that, it was like, what's going on here then? The only time I thought I'd see that is in an FA Cup game. Do you know what I mean? If Liverpool ever played Luton again in the FA Cup. But yeah, obviously, like I said, Liverpool took the lead. And then shortly after, Southampton did score. To be fair, really good goal, really good cross by Ward-Prowse. I do feel Van Dijk could have defended it a bit better on Shea Adams, who obviously got the goal. He wasn't goal side and it just weren't great from him. Like it, hasn't been a lot of times this season. They get the equaliser. And then Liverpool, start putting pressure on again. Nunes, good goal. He's starting to look, fairly decent now. We have to be real. Good finish by him. A brilliant ball by Elliott as well. We know Harvey Elliott's got the capabilities to do that, and he did. And obviously Liverpool went 2-1 up from that moment. And then Nunes scored again. Do you know what I mean? Again. And yeah, man, like he done really well. He done really well. But like I said, if it weren't for both keepers, it could have been a lot more for both sides. I remember the chance. I can't remember who had the chance, but the keeper, I think, was it Firmino? I think it might have been Firmino, but the keeper like grabbed it, done well to get out to it. Alisson in the second half, he had a brilliant game. Just for that alone, you could maybe say man of the match. For me personally, I think it's close between him and Nunes. I'd probably just edge it to Nunes only because he is starting to kick in the swing of things. And against like games like Tottenham, for example, I'll give it to Alisson there. But, if someone said Alisson, I won't, be annoyed about it. It's understandable. He done some wicked saves in this game. Like I said, the one where it's the header, bang, the save like that. Near the end, that was the last big chance. A few one-on-ones. And yeah, man, overall it was good display by Liverpool eventually. Like they started kicking into things. And I could tell it was Nathan Jones on the third goal because you could hear him shouting, get out to it. And I could just tell, obviously following this guy when he was at Luton, I could just tell that was his voice. And then that is actually how Southampton conceded their third goal as well because they didn't get out to it quick enough. Thiago took it short, then played it to Firmino, through balled it to obviously Robertson, I believe it was. Yeah, and then played it across to Nunes. But yeah, man, good display by Liverpool. Southampton, to be fair, like I said, they didn't look too bad. I'm not even being biased. They actually didn't look too bad. Alisson had a really good game. They did, get in behind a couple of times. So, yeah, man, it's one of them. But for man of the match, like I said, I think the main two you've got to say are Nunes or Alisson, but I am going to give it to Nunes because, like I said, he is starting to kick in the swing of things, and yeah, Alisson's had these performances for numerous amount of years, not even just this season, numerous amount of years for us now. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, man, your thoughts on it, Hanno?
So, before I go into the goals, and so first, hats off to Alisson. He basically kept Liverpool in that game for the second half because, uh, like I said to you, I can see why Luton did so good under Nathan Jones because how they were running through the lines and passing and coming so close to score. They probably should have scored at least one more, but they didn't. So yeah, but that first goal, oh, what a goal! Off the free kick, Roberto Firmino showing why should have been selected, and then didn't see the second goal. Oh, but I know the third goal. What a pass by Firmino! Just wish Chelsea had such a player. Just imagine. Oh, would have been great to have such a player. But yeah, again, Southampton, they were good and they kept them in the um, uh, um and they
Chat's on the
keep
mad
it
one.
like
I know. I'm just looking at it now, mate.
and and yeah, they kept them in the game as well. Salah, I think should have gotten a penalty for he was wrong goal and he was out back by Salah, by the I don't know, but one of the defenders. I think he should have gotten a, a defender, sorry, a penalty. Should have gotten a penalty, and yeah, hats off to Southampton for not conceding 5 goals because of pressure. Um, but uh, uh, but yeah.
You're loving the chat, in you, Hanno. I can just tell.
But no,
Oh, dear.
Just wish Liverpool kept a clean sheet because then I would have gotten 3 points. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Oh, that was close. My phone nearly went flying. But anyway, let's go through some comments. Yeah, it is Tyler. USA, Canada, Mexico hosting 2026 World Cup. Interesting. Like I said, I know there are a lot of countries, trying to, get in the mix to try and do it at their place, but I didn't know it's official.
Again, USA and Canada. Gee, yeah,
It's going to be
that's okay.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ravi, man, you're hilarious. Oh, why's it gone off? It said $5, Tyler, ever closer to buying Liverpool. Lol, big up. Oh, my days. Oh, dear. Yeah, you literally, like I said, in the UK, there's just hella John Cena's. You can't see anything. Do you know what I mean? I said that to him before. I don't know. It says I'm going to watch Belgium versus Egypt match in, I can't pronounce that, stadium on Friday. Fair enough, mate. Enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? I'll be doing, well, at some point, I'm going to do my reaction. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or pre-recorded video to the England squad. I just wanted to wait until the Premier League's done, because then I can just talk about that. Do you know what I mean? Tyler, Hanno, it's fair to say the so-called lesser strength teams in the Premier are playing better football these days. That's why you see that so-called bigger teams conceded goals in games. Exactly. And the competition at the bottom's even tougher now. And that's what I do like. Anyone can beat anyone. It's like that in the Championship. It's starting to be like that more in the Premier League. So, yeah, man. And then conversation there. Hi, Hanno. Do you know what I mean? And now Hanno's gone disappearing.
Yeah,
he did go before.
Yep. Yep. I can't pronounce your name, but it's so weird to pronounce it. Ariano.
Yeah, there you go. Done it. Yeah, you done it, mate. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. Hella 3:00 games, as we know. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, this game, I put too much faith in Everton. Too much faith in them pussy holes.
Tyler, why? Tyler, did you look at the cup score?
Bro, I remember. Yeah, no. What I thought, because I've seen it a lot recently, right? When teams play someone, like straight after, they tend to not always win, but they tend to get like a draw or something. So I was thinking, I was sitting there for ages. I could have got a point from this game. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say 3-0. As you lot know, I said 2-2. I was sitting there for ages going, do you know what? Do I go 2-1 Bournemouth? Or do I go 2-2? No, I'm going to think Everton gets some sort of result. I was literally sitting there for a good 5 minutes because you lot know I do my predictions beforehand, do the research and that sort of thing. And yeah, man, I was completely wrong. Bournemouth obviously winning 3-0, battering Everton again. Obviously, if you're the Everton players, you might as well have just stayed down in Bournemouth because you literally played them straight after. And yeah, man, just a really dominant display by Bournemouth. However, Everton were all over the place. I am loving to see it, though. I'm not going to lie, of course. And yeah, just, the 2 goals. I thought the 2 goals Bournemouth got, the first 2, very scrappy, but they got onto the end of it. Pickford on the first one. Bro, when you think about it, I know he plays well for England, but this is England's number 1, How's he not caught that? How has he not caught that? Seriously. And then Tavernier, 1-0, just like that. And then obviously Kiefer Moore, a really good player. I'll take him at Luton, I'll tell you that right now. Obviously he got the second, but obviously he's not going to go down unless he gets more money, but I can't see it. Obviously 2-0 there. And I'll tell you someone who I thought had a really good game, even though he's had quite a lot of good games for Bournemouth this season anyway. Solanke, I thought he was causing havoc left, right, and centre. Obviously, since he went to Bournemouth, he's been good. He just didn't. Them signings that just don't work at the bigger teams. It was one of them when he was at Liverpool. I knew he had quality, but he just weren't. It's not that level that Liverpool need, for example. But he's still a really good player. And obviously, like I say, he was causing havoc in this game. But yeah, it's just a really dominant display. Bournemouth just took control of this lackluster Everton, you could say. I think Everton had one good chance, and that was at the end of the game. I can't even remember who it was, but they spooned it over the bar. But they're all over the place. And I think Lampard's another manager that's starting to, for me, he should start being under a bit of pressure because they were awful. They're actually terrible. And, Bournemouth, let's remember before this game, obviously taking out the League Cup game on about in the league, they started taking a few defeats and it weren't so great. So it's one of them, but Everton, they're just, for me, they'll still stay up, like I said, because I think they're good enough defensively. When you look at compared to other teams like the way Wolves concede goals and teams like that. But yes, just not great from them there. Gary O'Neill, obviously, rumours that he could be going to the town. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, after the game, he was proper applauding, doing a lap around the whole thing from what I saw. And someone asked him and he said, I'm not going to say anything until things are confirmed, basically. Obviously, as a Luton fan, would have taken him. Yeah, I would take him, definitely. And yeah, man, we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, Everton all over the place. Bournemouth, credit to them. They just made the most of this poor Everton team, really. Hanno, your thoughts on it, mate?
First of all, I just saw Kenny in the chat, which
reminds me. Where is he? Let's have a look.
Which reminds me that Kenny, what was your Southampton Lopus again? But yeah, I just remembered that. This game, I called the Bournemouth one. When I saw the game, I was like, they played midweek, right? I checked the score. Yeah, 4-1. And I said 2-1 Bournemouth. I thought this would be a tougher game because it's they had a midweek game, of course. I thought it would be a little bit tougher for Bournemouth. So yeah. But yeah. Well,
what's that?
Nah, Shay and I don't know what this. You lot are funny.
Yeah, I'll just see what you're saying that to. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, mate. But yeah, man, it was one of them. It was one of them. We'll go through some comments. This is exactly what I was thinking, Brad. This is why I went with the 2-2. Because I was thinking they'd have, would have shown more fight, like you say there. I didn't think they'd quite win the game, but I thought they'd maybe get a draw. But no, obviously not. Too much faith in them. And it's just annoying because I was sitting there for a good 5 minutes going, nah, should I say 2-1? No, I'm going to go 2-2. Do you know what I mean? It was frustrating. Let's not ignore the fact we saw the beautiful sunset right behind Hanno. Yep, yeah. Let's not ignore that, to be fair, because trust me, when he joined, outside, look at that, pitch black out here. You know what I mean? It looked proper sick, to be fair, when I first saw it. And then obviously Hanno said about Kenny and chat. Bournemouth's 2-3 goal wins against Everton in 4 days. World Cup content starting tonight for me. Nice one. I'm doing it at some point this week. Nice. You seen hot? Yeah, I saw something. Like I said earlier, Shay asked me, and I said this weird stuff comes up on my Twitter. Even if I don't pay attention to the team, I just get random notifications. I'm not sure if you lot are the same on it, if you've got it. And yeah, it said something like that. I was like, what's going on here then? So yeah, man, that is that. And let's move on to the next one, which again, very close on this game. West Ham, I said that he is fuming at the moment with his team. I'll tell you that. You don't even want to talk about football at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Obviously, West Ham took another defeat. I said 2-1 in this game. Leicester get another win. Credit to them. Very good, display by them yet again. As for West Ham, when I saw this game, I just thought, you can again, like I said, Moyes, another manager for me that's starting to be under pressure. The atmosphere just sounded really, lethargic and dull for me. The only time it sounded all right in this game was obviously the penalty save by Fabianski. Obviously, when Tielemans missed the penalty. But before that, Leicester took the lead. Maddison, of course, who else is really going to be at the moment, especially with how he's been. He did have to come off in this game injured, but, hearing what Brendan Rodgers had to say, because obviously the World Cup's coming out, I wanted to hear what was said. It's not as bad as it seems. They said it was a precaution. So, yeah, he should be, in the World Cup squad still. That would have been very, very gutting if he wasn't, for him, of course. And obviously everyone that wanted him in it. After finally getting his chance. Will Southgate actually start him, though? I can't see it. I personally think it's just one of them where he's picked him so people are not going to be on his back. That's what I think, unfortunately, because I would start him in the World Cup, to be honest. And I would actually play attacking football. Do you know what I mean? But there we go. I'm not the manager. But like I said, Tielemans obviously missed the penalty. Good save by Fabianski. And then going into the second half, like I said, West Ham just weren't great. They just weren't great. It just, again, another lethargic performance. The atmosphere, we know, obviously, because how big the London Stadium is, when they're all rocking, it is pretty loud, even though you are as far away as you are from the pitch. It just, after their game in midweek, I just think, they knew Blackburn were a good side, but still, they expected to do better. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Moyes. And, man, Harvey Barnes, it was pretty easy. The way the second goal was pretty easy. And, man, Harvey Barnes, good finish by him. Again, he's another player who's come in and got a few goals this season, doing decent. People are starting to talk about him more. I've known this guy's been good for a while. People are starting to talk about him more. Yeah, man, just easy in the end for Leicester. And, if this continues for West Ham, I can see Moyes going, to be quite honest here. And yeah, they brung Skamaka in, but, they should have brung another attacker in for Antonio quite a while ago, in my opinion. Because Antonio, he's all right up front, but again, he's very injury prone. Do you know what I mean? So that's been their problem. And I just think, yeah, it's just a lot going on there, isn't there? There's a lot going on with, just all over the place. They're just all over the place. And it's weird. It's weird because I did think, they've continued where they've been in and around recent years. But this season, yeah, it's just overall, it's not great from them. The European competition, obviously the Conference League is what could maybe, benefit their season and, help it be better than it is. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. But Hanno, mate, your thoughts on this one?
I'm like you put too much faith in Everton. I put too much faith in West Ham. I think I said West Ham win or I said a 1-1 draw. But just again poor from West Ham. Leicester fully deserved this win. And well done, Leicester. Like I said, if they can push, they can keep this form until after the World Cup. You never know, they can maybe fight with United, Tottenham, or even Chelsea for that Conference League spot, but you never know. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to David Moyes. Um, you saw straight after last week's weekend game, statement straight from the club. No, we fully back him. Then straight after the where they lost to Blackburn in midweek, they said no, we back him. I think West Ham fans are going to put pressure on David Moyes. I don't know if they will sack him because I don't know what replace who there is to get to be honest. For them available now in the market. Maybe a Pochettino, but I don't think he will go to West Ham. But you never know. He's used to managing small clubs like Tottenham and West Ham, and yeah.
Fair enough then. That's the first I've heard that statement, which is interesting. I just I agree with you. Obviously, with the fans, like I said, the atmosphere just seemed really, really dull to what I know it can be. Obviously, rightly so, because the games recently have not been great from West Ham. Yeah, it's an interesting one because again, I see Kenny put it in the comments. I was going to say as well. It's good that the World Cup, is coming up for them in the sense where they can regroup and try and sort it out, try and sort this mess out. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see what goes on. Yep, they're out of the relegation zone. They're quite. I don't know. We'll look at the table at the end, but yeah, they are a few points out of it, I believe. Might even be more, but yeah. I know why I'm saying that. Obviously, my Premier League predictions. I did say, that was a gut feeling, that one. And Leicester, they are starting to kick on now. Will they get maybe as high as I said there? We'll see. Because, a lot of people were, writing Liverpool off the top four race, and now they're, in and around it again. So, with a lot of other teams are up there. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, I'm not saying it just because Hanno's on here, but a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, Chelsea comfortably, finish above Liverpool, and now Liverpool above them. So you don't know what can happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Big up yourself. Big up yourself for the super chat as well. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. What a crazy game this was, eh? A lot of really good games this weekend.
Screw you, Tottenham. Screw you. I said on my channel, Leeds were going to win. And I said it.
I don't blame you for saying that.
And then Leeds Tottenham. They come back. Oh, that's awful. But yeah, go on, put on your network.
Yeah, this one was a crazy one. Like I said, a lot of really good games this weekend. This game was, obviously the highest scoring, and it's not even got a picture of it in the thumbnail. Do you know what I mean? That's how many good games there were. Is that back-to-back 4-3 games for Leeds in the Premier League? I'm pretty sure it is, isn't it? Obviously, taking out the midweek game. It won it 4-3 against Bournemouth as well. I'm pretty sure it was. So, yeah, man, crazy games they've had. Obviously, the Bournemouth one, they won. This one, they didn't. Obviously, Somerville taking a lead for Leeds in the 10th minute. Pretty good finish, to be honest. Dyer. This guy, man. This guy. Oh, my God. People want to tell me he got better under Conte.
We are going to start in let's celebrate. Dyer and Maguire. All day, the deadly duo.
But don't worry, it's coming home, apparently. Okay. But anyway, obviously that happened. And who else but Harry Kane to equalise? Now, I really like that finish, to be fair. I like the technique on it. It was a good little touch as well. He put past the Leeds player. I can't remember who it was, but then he just smashed it in the top left. Really good goal by him. Obviously, we know he's got really good technique, of course. And then Rodrigo, 2 minutes before half time. Obviously, he started the season off really well for Leeds. I think Rafinha leaving actually kicked him on to be even better. And obviously, he scored there. Pretty good finish by him. And, Leeds took the lead again in the game, 2-1. And then obviously going into the second half, Ben Davies scored, near the edge of the box. Little bit mad in the box. A lot of players in there. But, obviously he levelled things up. And then again, Rodrigo, 3-2. Was that a foul? Do you think that was a foul? I can't remember who it was, but building up to that where Leeds won the ball and then scored.
I can't quite remember it, to be honest, but um, no, I can't remember it. So let me try and find it.
Yeah, no worries, mate, no worries. While you do that, I'll say my thoughts now. I don't think it was. I don't think it was, to be quite honest here. I think it was fair and square. Again, good finish by Rodrigo. And obviously he put 3-2 up again. They took the lead again. Obviously, that was the last time they did take the lead. And then Bentancur with a double. And yeah, man, obviously he went on to win the game for Tottenham. Leeds could have made it 4-4. It was a crazy one. It was a crazy one. And then obviously Tyler Adams got sent off. I didn't put a red card thing on this week because it was done. You know, it was done by the time. Yeah, they were going to lose the game at that point for me. But yeah, crazy game. Tottenham get a win. Do you know what I mean? Leeds, they'll be disappointed. You know, it goes back to what Hanno said, where you know they did bottle it. Let's be real. Especially they took the lead 3 times in that game. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's mad. But you know, ever since that Liverpool game, they've not been bad. Obviously, I did watch their game in midweek in the League Cup. I know they narrowly lost to Wolves. Again, do they really probably care about the League Cup? Probably not. They probably care about more actually trying to survive. Well, definitely, in fact, you know. So yeah, man, that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it for Leeds. As for Tottenham, good win for them. They needed a win really, especially with how well Newcastle are doing. Newcastle obviously, you know, were above them at the time, but still, you know, could have, if Tottenham didn't get a result there, Newcastle could have went even further. You know, obviously based on their result they got, which we will get into, of course. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts. We'll go through some comments, and then yeah. Oh shit, man. That's gutting, man. That's gutting. Big up to him. Big up to Niall. Do you know what I mean? Probably drop him a message, man. To be fair. Oh yeah. I remember that, Kenny. Flipping hell. We've done an early World Cup prediction thing. Yeah. That's definitely probably changed now. Yeah, like he says there, I'm sure that will change 100%. Leeds are still in the battle. People act like they aren't, but they are. 2 wins doesn't change that. Exactly. And it goes back to what I said. You know, since the Liverpool game, they have played all right. League Cup, do they really care about that? Nah, probably not. You know, and they narrowly lost anyway. You know, they care more about surviving. Do you know what I mean? But they have been all right. Yeah, they're still conceding a lot of goals, but it's one of them. They're, like Hanno said, you know, it should be disappointed in this. You know, because they took the lead 3 times, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, facts. That is facts. I have to admit. Big up Spencer. He says, "Hey T, Kenny, Shane, Mystic. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself." I was almost right. I was 6-3. Flipping hell. Fair enough. What did I say? I think 2-1. No, I said 2-1 Tottenham. So I got a point. But yeah, man. Hanno, did you see that? Did you see that incident?
Yeah. I didn't think it was foul, to be fair. I think it was a bit of the ball, but hey, it is what it is. Leeds did score, and if that if circumstance think it was a foul, then you still won, so be happy. But it's just so gutting actually for Leeds. One time, 4-3 result, you're on the other, you're on the winning side. This time you're on the losing side. How do you bottle it? 3 times. Three Liverpool. And Tottenham, they're known for bottling. Not you. Not you. So yeah. Hi Spencer. That's so. Um, guess the next game is the other game. I can't quite remember, but um, that was my so yeah. I don't wish I want to remember this game because Palace, you lost. I backed you once. I thought I will back you again. But no, you disappointed me. So um yeah, screw you, Palace.
Palace are like your Southampton for me. Do you know what I mean? For you predict them to win, they lose, or rare to, vice versa. But yeah, this game, I said 1-1. I did think Nottingham Forest could have got a sort of result. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have said 1-0. I would have said 2-1. I did feel maybe of them being at home, they could maybe sneak something. And I don't know, I just thought Palace would maybe get a goal. They should have really, they got a penalty, clear penalty for me. It's not even a debate, But Zaha, that was a poor penalty off the post, or the outside of the post and wide. Terrible by him. And Nottingham Forest, obviously the goal they got, Gibbs White, obviously it went VAR because they thought he was potentially offside. He did look like it in real time, but looking at it in slow-mo, and that's one positive about VAR. Do you know what I mean? When they look at it properly like that, he wasn't. And obviously that won Nottingham Forest again. Palace did have a few good chances. Nottingham Forest, dug deep. And I did say, if they do stay up this season, most of that will come down to their home games for me, getting points out of them. Because overall, at home, I don't think they've been too bad this season. Yeah, they've took a few defeats every now and then. But recently, for example, beat Liverpool, even if you want to look into, other games that are not just the Premier League, they've done all right there as well. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen, in that sense. If they are to stay up, I think their home games is what will benefit them in that sense. So yeah, man, there's not really too much else to say, really. Like I said, it should have really been 1-1. Palace, dreadful penalty by Zaha. It weren't great. It weren't great. Forest have really tightened up at the back. I feel like I have a chance now. And like before, all the people saying they're already relegated look stupid now. Yeah, exactly. People are saying it ridiculously early. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. No one's already. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. And they pretty. Yeah, exactly. And that contract was brilliant. 100%. 100%. And the main reason they gave that to him is because everything he's done for the club, since he come in last season, people are just looking at it from a Premier League perspective. All these Premier League fans that don't watch other leagues, they're just sitting there and, they're just like, oh, we're doing a relegation battle. Where's here? It's like, no, look at what he's actually done for the club since he's come in. Do you know what I mean? He deserves that. He deserves that contract. I weren't even, when I found out, I was like, yeah, fair enough. He deserves it. Look at everything he's done from him. The jump up he's done from, the championship all the way up. Obviously, they got promoted. Bottom of the championship. Brilliant turnaround from him. And I've always known he's a good manager. That's the thing. Because obviously he was part of the Liverpool thing before. I think it was more the youth. But still, he was in and around it. And even what he did with Swansea, people didn't really give him credit for that, I feel. Especially Swansea fans. I thought they were a bit harsh on him, in my opinion. But there we go. There we go. If I say that, it'll be like, but have they went up since? Have they got close since then? No, they haven't. And Hanno will like that one. But they haven't got close since that moment that he got them in the playoffs. So I think they need to relax themselves. And they shouldn't even be in the English leagues. But anyway, I'm not going through that because I can't be bothered. Cooper took Forest from 28. But yeah, exactly. The fact Man United is fifth makes me sick. Oh, dear. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, not really too much to say about this one. I've said most of it. I think Hanno said most of it at the start when he was very annoyed. So we'll move on. Oh, this is where we need Hanno now. Do you know what I mean? This is where we need him. Do you know what I mean? I watched the Luton game. I was going to do a match reaction, but Saturday was a mad one after the Luton game. I'll tell you that right now. So yeah, that's why the content's been a bit mad because I was going to do this yesterday as well. But yeah, man, But Hanno, to be
Mhm.
fair, you did predict a loss for Chelsea. So you sort of sensed what was coming. Obviously, Newcastle are a good team. But talk to me. Talk to me about your thoughts, lineup, and the game as a whole, really.
Um, but, um, yeah, I called it. I think most Chelsea fans, if you are a Chelsea fan and you didn't call this, is that we were going um to lose, then not called that we weren't going to lose, then you are then you're delusional because we are awful, right? We are awful. Yeah, we need that. We need that prime. We need Arsenal's prime bottles. Uh,
Well, if
but
KSI was a Chelsea fan, you probably would.
yeah, because yeah, Spence, mate. And if Fulham won on the which they could have won, and if they won, we would have been below them. So it's so big for us. Yeah, lineup. How can I go into a game with no wingers, no wingers, um, no no creator midfielder or attacker? I know Mason Mount is classified as this creative midfielder, same with Gallagher, but you started what? Six midfielders, including Lewis Hall, and if you include starting 11, you had Ruben Loftus-Cheek midfielder, uh, the Jorginho and Kovacic, Mount and Gallagher, and Lewis Hall are six midfielders. Then you had your back three, right, which was then were three defenders. Then Ruben gets injured in 5 minutes. So now you bring on another another defender, which makes it what now? Um, four defenders and five five midfielders. You're starting one. I feel bad for Broja. It's like you're being um, put for the tension alone in the class. You're just sitting there watching how they defend. All you can do is stay back because you don't want to go and defend. And so you just stand there. Mm. I felt, if you watch the watch along, I was falling asleep during that game. So boring was it. The uh, the first half was a snooze fest, but really anyone had chances. The second half, again we collapsed in the second half. Um, awful from us in that second half. They had so many chances. Um, probably should have scored like 3 goals. Um, awful from us. But as much as I want to put on the players, I Eunice from Eunice of Football, if you know him, then you know. Um, I want to agree with him on this point. Graham Potter has as much inspiration as a goldfish because he's just everything. He's just watching this. He's not animated. He's not like, come on, push up, go get a ball. He's just, mm, he's just dry as a cooking. Um, so yeah, um, he's, uh, so yeah, that. And but awful from us. Um, Same with Everton for us. The World Cup break is coming at the right time. And Bowley and Potter, they need to work. They need to work. They need to really work together. Because at this point, it seems like Potter is. He was thrown into the deep end. He swam. Is that working? I think. He swam for the first bit, but now he's tired. It's like it's like an athlete. The first 100 meters, they sprint, and now the rest of the race, you're just trying to keep up with the guy in last place. It's like racing all well with two legs. Um, you can't. It's, it's breaking down. So yeah, that's my fault. But people go check out Eunice, aka Eunice of Football's review to this. Summed it up perfectly. Um, so yeah.
There you go. There you go. This was actually the first game of the weekend I actually proper managed to watch. Obviously, 12:30 Man City game. Like I say, I only managed to catch a little bit of it. And then obviously I watched Luton at 3 and Liverpool, obviously. And then obviously watch this one. And yeah, like Hanno says, it worked great from Chelsea. Flipping. I just, like you said, Newcastle, they could have really scored more, to be honest. They should have. They had some good chances for the goal. Obviously, that was a wicked goal by Willock. Obviously, took over the ball that Almiron was, where he was running into space with. And then brilliant finish by him. Obviously, Almiron did have a few chances. It was weird not seeing him score in a game because obviously he's done that a lot recently. But he did have a good chance in the first half as well. But yeah, it weren't great from Chelsea. I remember it being 0-0 at half time, and I remember saying, to myself, Newcastle are definitely going to score at some point in that second half. And obviously they did go on to do that. And it was a bit obvious, really. It's a bit obvious that there was going to. Obviously, my prediction for this game, I said again, I think I said another 2-1. Yeah, I said 2-1. I'm pretty sure I said 2-1 going into this one. 2-1 or 2-0, but I think it was 2-1. It was, in fact, actually, I remember. So, yeah, man. My thoughts on it. Newcastle, obviously, they're in the top 3. They'll be in the top 3 during Christmas. And like I said, this is the first season, especially with the funds they've got now, where you're going to start to see them up and around that, that bit of the table, around the top 6, in the top 6, etc. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. But Eddie Howe, brilliant turnaround he's had as well. Always big him up for it, especially with the criticism he did get, after they did take certain defeats, like Bournemouth at home, for example, and a few others, people, saying pressure on him, and now they're singing Eddie Howe's Barmy Army, and he's turned it around brilliantly, if that's a word. I think it is. But yeah, man, fair play to them. As for Chelsea, like Hanno said, it's a good time now, with the World Cup coming up, and they need to sort themselves out. They really do, because they were, they went in for Graham Potter. It's obvious that they wanted him, so we'll see. We'll see what goes on. People are questioning him, but okay, I think you need to give him a little bit more time and see how it goes. Personally. Like I said, now you've got the World Cup coming up, so just regroup and see what goes on during it. Like what? Well, obviously you can't because you won't play, but you see, it gives them time to think and plan more, and then obviously see how they are when after the World Cup. So yeah, man. Go through some comments. Chelsea are below Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. And people were saying or Liverpool are too far off. And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because these are the same people. Now, I'm not saying Liverpool are in the title race. No one take this stupidly. What I'm saying is people are writing Liverpool off the title race last season. What was it? We were 13 points behind or whatever at Christmas. And he brought it all the way back to the last game of the season. Do you know what I mean? We didn't win it. We brought it all the way back. And people, we were quite far off the top four. And now we're above Chelsea, and people are writing us off to even get in the top four, which I think is ridiculous. I really do. It's not been a great season overall from Liverpool, but it's still got the world-class players, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's actually mad to me, honestly. And it's not, other teams are dropping points elsewhere as well. Uh, what other comments I want to see? Chelsea are borrowing in this. Can't remember one. Yeah, exactly, Kenny, exactly. Newcastle, I think they're very much favourites top scorer at the moment. Yeah, exactly. That's understandable. Also, they don't have. They're not in any European competitions as well. I know you've said that before as well, but yeah, man. Can Newcastle finish second? That would be crazy.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll happen, but don't write them off the top four at the moment. That's what we'll say. So, like I said, I just think Man City will still be up there. Arsenal, you can't really write them off at the moment. We'll see after the World Cup, but as of now, you can't really write them off to get at least top two for me. So yeah, man. And then obviously Kenny and that going on. 14th, I think, in Jan. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was some time near Christmas and that. But like I said, it makes me laugh because they're the same people that writing Liverpool off the top four. It makes me laugh. But anyway, next game. I like how they've done the Premier League games this weekend. Like I said, I like when they do it like this, obviously, with the game later on. And yeah, Hanno's got to go, so I'll just let him whiz through his thoughts, just quick thoughts on this game and the other two, just very quickly.
Arsenal, expected them to win. I just thought they would win by more. So I was saying 4-0, maybe even 5-0, but yeah, good results again for Arsenal. They keep winning. Again, the question comes in: when will Arsenal fall off? When will they be stopped? I don't know, Tyler. Do you know the answer? You know
I'm finding it hard to bet against them to win a game at the moment. It's mad. This game,
Brighton, how? Villa, really, Villa. I know United lost the game. I know United anyway. And you think, well, United lost the game. If we lose the game, nobody will be angry. But I am angry. You just needed to win. Then I would have gotten 3 points. But no, you didn't.
and then finally this one.
Fair enough, United they won, but Shattered Fulham they did good.
Yeah, they really will.
I would actually hope it would have been a 1-1 draw. Then Manchester United were closer to us. But then again, Fulham would have been more closer than, or be 1 point off us. And we played Bournemouth when you come back from the World Cup, and everybody knows our record against Bournemouth at Christmas time. So yeah, that's it. We have everyone in chat. Yeah, United. Well done to them. Garnacho of the Messi celebration. Well done. Yeah, he seems like a star. And Trashford finally turned up. I'm still waiting on Scanto to turn up. So yeah. But yeah, be uptight yourself. For doing the film, of course, as always. And yeah. After Chelsea, we'll see. Uh, I'm actually so glad I don't have to speak on Chelsea anymore, to be honest. Um, definitely. And United fans and non-United fans calling that Ronaldo should not be unfronted.
No worries, mate. No worries. Big up Lennon. Big up everyone on the side. But yeah, obviously I'll get into my thoughts. On the games in a minute. Just let Hanno say the last little bit. Plug his stuff, like you lot already know. Just in case you don't, to people that may watch this back on playback. There's not a few people do that. So yeah, man, big up to them. And yeah, go through some comments, I guess. Where is it? 2-3. That's fair enough.
Okay. So yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Just let the people know where they can find you, because obviously I know you've got to shoot off.
Um, yeah, on YouTube, Coach's Corner, and on Twitter, Hanno underscore coach underscore. No, sorry. On Twitter, Hanno underscore coach corner. And on Instagram, Hanno underscore coach underscore corner. Yeah, be up everyone. And yeah, up the Chelsea. And there's a new video on my channel, giving the people insight on the World Cup Group A from Netherlands fans' point of view. Short, short preview for me, but yeah, the I would do for every World Cup group there is and one fan from a country in that group giving their thoughts. So yeah, but be up everyone. And yeah, see you all in a bit.
See you in a bit, mate. Big up yourself. I'll definitely check that one out. Do you know what I mean? But there we go. We'll go through some comments. Ten Hog. Big up Lennon. He says, "Yo, big up yourself." And that shows the future. Yeah, we'll get into that. But let me go back to the Arsenal game. Like I said, it's really hard to bet against them at the moment. Obviously, I did it in the Chelsea game. Thought Aubameyang would actually play right. We know how he turned out to play. It took Arsenal a while. Wolves did have some chances. Penalty shout. Was it a penalty? I don't know. It's difficult because, yeah, it is a foul, but is he offside? It's difficult for me. It's difficult. Like I said, Wolves did have a chance before that as well. Was it Neto? I want to say it was Neto. No, it weren't Neto. He's not even starting for them. Who was it? I don't know, but it's over the bar. Like, Wolves did have their chances. We knew what their game plan was going to try and be, and that was hit Arsenal on the break. They did try to do that a couple of times, of course. But then, Jesus had a chance right before half time, or near enough, off the bar. Arsenal had a few chances again, especially Jesus. He had a lot of chances in that Chelsea game as well, good chances as well, similar in this one. I mean, the crossbar one was unlucky, to be fair. But yeah, in the second half, Arsenal eventually got hold of the game and took their chances. Vieira played a ball forward. A ball across to Odegaard, who's doing really well at the moment, actually. He's actually doing really well for Arsenal. And obviously got the second as well. Good little bit of passing again, and that's the thing. When Arsenal pass it round like that, they're looking really good. Do you know what I mean? They're looking really good. I thought Ben White had a pretty good performance again. Most of the season he's been playing as a right back, and he's been doing really well there. Do you know what I mean? So massive shout out to him, and you have to shout out their whole team. Really, they're still up there. Like I said in the title, Arsenal top during Christmas. They're going to be top during Christmas, of course. Now, credit to them for keeping it up as long as they have. Me and Chris, obviously, are the Arsenal fan that comes on the channel every now and then. We mentioned it, when leading up to that Chelsea game, they, and I've said it a few times before, they've got that spirit, to come back in games that they're losing. A lot of times last season, you wouldn't have seen that, like the Fulham game this season, for example, where they fell behind and they come back. If that was last season, they're not winning that game. So you do have to give them massive credit. You do. You really do. Wolves, again, it's another one of them games for them where they've missed decent chances. Like I said, that other chance they had, that was over. Could have done a bit better there. It's another game for them where they haven't scored a goal. But I don't think they should be too disheartened in this one because, again, it is a really on-form Arsenal team. People saying they'd drop off after the World Cup. I honestly, I'm finding it hard to write against them to be up there come the end of the season. First or second, I'm not even joking. I have to be honest with the way things are going. Just having a quick look who they've actually got when the Premier League's back. They've got West Ham, which, again, it's good time for the World Cup to come for West Ham, the break, but Arsenal at home, they usually tend to do well against West Ham there. So right now, I can only see them going on to win that one. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, that is my thoughts on that game. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. Definitely with Man United. But yeah, facts. But yeah, let's move on to the next game, which obviously Hanno mentioned briefly. Obviously, he's mentioned last three briefly before he had to go. And this game was the game at 2:00 on Sunday in the Premier League. That was Brighton versus Aston Villa. I was thinking if someone was going to win, it was going to be Villa, just due to the new, Unai Emery, new manager, that sort of thing. And I would have said 2-1 on this one. I'll be honest, if I said a Villa win, I was debating it, but then I was like, Brighton at home, I can see this one being a draw. Obviously, Villa had a crazy game on the Thursday night. Was it? Yeah, Thursday in the League Cup against United. That second half was mental. But obviously, this game, Brighton did score in the first minute, literally the first minute. McAllister. Don't really know what Villa were doing at the back, to be honest. And then Ings got a penalty. To be fair, he did get away with the penalty, like in the sense, like the actual shot. Keeper should have really saved that for me, especially the touch he's got on it. But Ings did equalise in the 20th minute. And then he did score again. And this time, obviously that Brighton done a mistake at the back. I don't know who it was that passed it to the player who then lost the ball. Why are you passing it to him in the first place? Because then he's got two players on him anyway, either side. So the pressure's always going to be there and he's going to lose it. And that's what happened because they'll just put the pressure on him, like I said. 2-1 Villa. And obviously they went on to win the game from that. There was, a shout that should have been a penalty for me, for Brighton. I'm not going to lie. Digne, I don't know how he's got away with that, to be honest. Even Jamie Carragher on commentary for that game was saying the exact same thing. Got away with that one. That should have been a penalty for me. And I could have got a point if Brighton scored their penalty. It doesn't, just because they had a penalty, obviously doesn't mean they definitely scored it. But could have been a chance there for me to get a point out of that game. But, credit to Villa, good comeback. That's it. For me, they did get away with that, just that Digne incident. But, from coming back from 1-0, you give them credit there. Danny Ings obviously got a double. Like I said, penalty was a little bit lucky, but the other goal he scored wasn't. As for Brighton, don't be too disheartened because, like I said, Villa, Unai Emery's come in, really good manager, and this is where you see Villa climbing up the table for me. Again, let's have a quick look who they've got after the World Cup. Let's have a look. So they will have some recent fixtures. They're actually playing Villarreal during the World Cup in obviously a friendly. So obviously Unai Emery's probably got that sorted. Well, obviously others, but he's probably main contact. Liverpool is their first game back. 5:30 kickoff. Yeah, because that's the day Luton play later on. So I don't really know what I'm going to do for that day. But we'll see what goes on. They've got some tough games, actually. They got Liverpool at home. They could win. We'll see. And then they've got Tottenham away, which will be a difficult one. then they got Wolves at home, which is quite favourable, and then Leeds, and they've got some all right games after that. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes on there. But yeah, I do think they'll start shooting up the table, especially with Unai Emery, very good manager. A manager I do rate highly. Just look at the stuff he did at Arsenal with how much he was really given. You know, if people don't think his time at Arsenal was great, look at Villarreal. You know, they're a little town in Spain. Even their fans will tell you that. Or City, you know, and you know he got them to. You know, he won the Europa League with them. Got them to the Champions League semi-final and nearly beat Liverpool in that second leg. You know, let's not forget that. So, yeah, man. Hanno says Brighton scored their fastest goal ever, or their club's fastest goal. There you go. Then. I didn't know that. And Brighton, again, you know, they're still doing a lot of achievements this season. Obviously, last season, they ended up finishing the highest they've ever finished in top flight history. And they could still get that 9th place. I wouldn't write them off to do that. I'll tell you that. So, yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But like I said, they shouldn't be too disheartened because, again, like Villa, they'll start doing well now, especially under Unai Emery. Good evening. Good evening, Brighton. Oh, dear. So, yeah, man, let's go through the last game. Game I watched fully. And I got this score prediction spot on. I was very happy with that. And obviously, it was right at the end of the game. So I was like, yes, come on. Even obviously don't really want United to win. But obviously, when I predict them to win, for the predictions, yes. But even if they don't on the prediction, I don't really care. But yeah, obviously, this game ended up 2-1. You know, this was the 4:30 game. And like Hanno said earlier, Fulham were good there. There's some good chances. David De Gea, I thought he had a really good game, to be fair, again. But obviously, Eriksen took the lead. That is his first ever Manchester United goal, I believe. So, yeah, obviously, Fernandes played the ball across. Eriksen, he's never going to miss that, is he? You know, open goal, he's not going to miss that. Obviously, he took the lead for United. And then, obviously, Dan James, the former United player, obviously got a goal. And yeah, man, you felt a goal from Fulham was coming with the way they were playing. And I remember a lot of people, obviously I'm in a group chat, you know, we talk about football in general, and people were saying deserved, which it 100% was, you know, 100% was. You can't argue with that. Like I said, De Gea made some good saves in this game. And then Garnacho, I think I said his name right. Hopefully I did. Obviously, who everybody is talking about, saying one for the future. And people are not even saying it just because of that goal. You know, I thought, you know, he when he come on, he was doing all right. You know, if you can hear that hoover in the background, apologies. The one that's doing the hoovering. But, yeah, man, I thought he had a really good game. He was trying to link up. He was trying to cause havoc. And obviously the goal, Eriksen, we know he's got the capabilities of good through ball passing. And obviously he's done that. Went through to Garnacho. Very lovely finish by him. And obviously celebrated right in front of the United fans. And, you know, shout out to the United fans because they were loud. They were loud throughout that whole game. Obviously, like I said, I was just chilling watching it. So I hear the fans and that. And yeah, man, very loud. And Kenny says, thing is, our game plan was counter-attack the whole entire game. Yeah, which is fair enough because you got the pace to do that. And you are away from home as well. So I'm not really surprised, to be honest. I don't blame you for doing that. But yeah, Fulham, don't hold your heads down from this one. Obviously, this is only their second home defeat of the season. You know, they lost to a Newcastle side who are obviously doing as well as they are. So don't be too disheartening. United, they're doing all right this season. They're doing all right, especially, you know, with what it's been like in recent years. That's for sure. Especially with the saga that's going on, all the Ronaldo stuff and that stuff. Which I think overall they have dealt with it well, personally. You know, I look at it from both perspectives. I see it. Me personally, I see the frustration from both things. I'm not looking into, well, I'm not, when I say I see it from both ends, I'm not looking at, you know, when he walked off, you know, I'm not on about that. I'm just on about the, you know, the sense where you know what he's like. He wants to be playing in the Champions League, and obviously it's just not happening there, as we know. One of them, innit? He's Ronaldo. He's going to want to do that. But then again, I think Ten Hag's dealt with it fairly well, to be honest. Because United want to be, up there again. Do you know what I mean? They want to be up there, and he's focusing on that pretty well at the same time, I feel. So yeah, man, that's what I've got to say about that one. Garnacho did get a yellow card. Was that for taking his top off? I don't even know, but I think it's ridiculous when they give yellow cards for that. Honestly, it's a joke. But yeah, man, obviously Paul Tierney was the ref. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me started on that guy. I thought he had an average performance, but yeah, man, United grinded out their results. And like I said, this was the only game of the weekend that got spot on. And I was happy when it was 2-1, just for that reason. So yeah, man, like I said, Fulham shouldn't be too disheartened at all. Yeah, man, United, we know they have the capabilities of getting a lot of 2-1 wins and grinding out the results. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it. We'll go through some more comments and then we'll go through the table. When they came, yeah, no, I'd agree with that. So yeah, there's that. Kenny says, bring on a World Cup. Yeah, man, let's bring it on. Even though it's not coming home, but people will still tell you it is. But yeah, man, bring it on. Looking forward to it. Obviously, I don't, like a lot of people don't like when it is and all that, but it's the next load of football. Do you know what I mean? At least it's not the flipping Nations League, even though, I have my thoughts on it. All right, it's not a major trophy, but, half of these England fans move like, oh, no, don't try and win it because it's not good enough. Yet we haven't won a trophy since 1966. And they're the same people that were sitting there in the when we got to the semi-finals or whatever, when it was first made, then we had to play for that third place. Before that third place game, they were the same people sitting there going, yeah, let's go and win it. Let's try and win it. Do you know what I mean? So flip-flops, mate. That's what half of them are. Ain't got a clue. But anyway, Spencer says, I got to run. Take care all. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. Sorry, I just got an important message. So yeah, mate. Big up yourself for coming on like always. Fergie took 5 years to become a legend. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah. I understand why they do it, but I understand why you don't like it because it just feels like it's annoying because you didn't get, further than you could have. So yeah, man, I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. It's one of them. Take care, Spencer. But yeah, let's move on to the table. Let me get rid of this. I'll go through the table. Obviously, Kenny did ask earlier, are Leicester out of the battle? I know they're out of the battle. I just can't remember the exact points. So we'll have a look at it now before we go. Oh, God. Yeah. Some of these stuff on here are mad. Right, let me wait for it to actually want to load. So, obviously, like I said, Arsenal remain top of the league. Like I said, it's hard to bet against them in games. We'll see what it's like after the World Cup, but, their first game being West Ham, right now, I'd still back them to win, especially at home. They tend to have a good record at home against West Ham. So, yeah, man, Arsenal remain top. 3, 4, 5, 7, 5 points clear. Sorry, I was just trying to work out how many points it was. Obviously, maths is not great, but 5 points clear. So yeah, man. Man City obviously are second, despite that Brentford result. Newcastle in third, so they'll be third during Christmas. Fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, it's going to be the first year you can see it. Where they're going to be up and around there. One loss all season. I didn't even know. Wow, and that loss was to Liverpool. Jeez, yeah, and even then there was a bit of controversy. I'll be real. So fair play to them. I didn't even realise they only had one loss. But yeah, Tottenham obviously fourth. Like I said, they needed a win just to put pressure on Newcastle, really. Man United fifth. Liverpool sixth now. Do you know what I mean? So, people writing off Liverpool for the top 4 race, it's stupid to me, because they're the same people that are writing them off for the title race when they were how many odd points it was last season. Like I said earlier, I'm not saying we're in that race. We're not. We're in the top 4 race, but again, it's similar points to last season, and people writing us off that, that. Obviously, we didn't win it in the end, but still, we made it go down to the last game. So, yeah, man, and Co-op trying to tell me they're recruiting stuff. I don't care what you're recruiting, mate. But yeah, Brighton 7th. So still up there. Chelsea 8th now. Now you know how it feels to be Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? For most of the season. Fulham 9th. Again, still up there. Brentford 10th. So they're now in the top half of the table. Crystal Palace 11th. Aston Villa 12th. So, like I said, this is where for me you start seeing Villa climb up there. Even though they've got some tough games coming up, I think throughout the whole season they'll be higher than 12th. That's what we'll say. I can't even remember where I said they're finished, but yeah. 13th Leicester, 14th Bournemouth, 15th Leeds, 16th West Ham. So they're 2 places away from that battle. Only a point if you're doing it on points. Everton 17th, just above the relegation. Like I said, come the end of the season, I think they'll have enough. And then the bottom 3, Nottingham Forest, and now obviously first of the bottom. Sorry. And then obviously Southampton second bottom. Again, you can't expect Nathan Jones to get a result in his first game away at Anfield. Let's be real. And they did play well, like I said earlier. They did play well. Both keepers had really good games. You know what I mean? Even though theirs conceded 3, they're well taken goals by Liverpool. And especially on goals like the third one, their defence should have done better. And then obviously Wolves rock bottom. And obviously, based on the results I did have this week, they would have been bottom. So that one is how it is there. And yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. But that is it. That is it of the Premier League for now. Obviously, the World Cup is coming up, like we said. So yeah, man, I'll go through the last bit of comments. Kenny says, by the way, Tyler, is a World Cup one for the groups. I'll probably use... what do I use for the Euros? I can't remember, but they'll probably have one for the World Cup, won't they? I just like to do it on teams I think will win. What I'll do is I'll have a look at the squads again of pretty much every team. Well, every team probably. And then I'll probably do... do I do a live on it? Yeah, I'll probably do a live stream of it. Day before, as you know, like you're doing. So yeah, man. But big up yourself for telling me. Big up yourself. If I can't find one, then I'll just use that. But I'm pretty sure there's like a FIFA thing for it. I remember there was something I used for the Euros. It was the actual website. The thing. You know what I mean. Nathan Jones in the relegation zone. Come on, he's had one game, mate. He's had one game, and that's at Liverpool. But I know you're joking. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll probably just do one by myself. So yeah, man, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one by myself. And yeah, I'll probably just leave it like that, to be quite honest here, mate. But yeah, man, World Cup content, I'll start doing that. The first thing I'll probably do regarding World Cup, like I said earlier, I'm going to talk about the England squad. I don't know if to do a live or pre-recorded video. I don't know. But obviously, I'll go more into it and say my thoughts on the players. Obviously, I said a little bit about the Maddison thing earlier. I think that's just for less pressure on Southgate's back, to be quite honest here. By fans, I don't think he'll actually start him, unfortunately, because I would have. But I'm not the manager. So there you go. There is that. But there you go, people. That is the end of the Premier League review. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. There's going to be no more of these. Obviously, until the Premier League's back, which obviously a month or so's time. So yeah, man. As for content, like I said, I'm going to start doing World Cup content. First thing I'm going to do regarding it is the England. Talk about that. There will be a Hatter show some point as well. Me and my dad, we're waiting for a Luton manager to come in because there is rumours going around that there should be one very soon. even though the World Cup's coming, we're not rushing it, but we are, if that makes sense. Just so it gives time for the players that are not going to get used to him, etc. So yeah, we're going to do that. Like I said, didn't do a reaction to Rotherham the other day because it's a madness. I got the score prediction right though. I've done all right in championship predictions, to be fair. Considering I did quick fire predictions, I didn't even do research. Done all right, to be fair. I think I got like 3 games spot on. Luton game being one of them. So yeah, man. And that's that. Yeah, hat show. I'll probably say Thursday. Like I said, it all depends when the manager comes out. Really. And then obviously we'll talk about Rotherham there, and then might even talk about World Cup a little bit at the end. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. But obviously, predominantly talk about Luton. Kenny says, see you, Tyler. Big up yourself, mate. Incredible show, Tyler. Big up yourself, Wolf. Big up yourself. Like always. Hanno's gas at Chelsea not playing for a while, so he doesn't have to deal with that. Oh, dear. I'm looking forward to World Cup so much, man. Yeah, even though it's a time, you don't really want it in, you are, you got to feel a little bit excited. But like I said, it's not coming home, but I'm negative, apparently. No, I just look ahead and I actually use my brain. I'm not just dick riding Southgate because for the fun of it. First World Cup watch along, Tyler. I don't know. When's the first game? First game's Sunday, isn't it? Qatar versus, I don't even know. Is it Netherlands, maybe? Probably not that. England one will definitely be one. Every single England game I'll be doing a watch along to. Hopefully we got some people coming on from in and around the country, literally. Harry, shout out Harry, brought me on tour. I need to hit him up more, but he we made a group chat a while ago actually, and about it. So hopefully he'll be on. I think Alex might be coming on. And yeah, man, hopefully others like the OGs, like Blake, obviously, if you watch my Euro content, we've done fan camps as well. So, yeah, man, hopefully he'll come on as well. But I wanted all the watch-alongs I do, they'll probably be in person. Just because it's the World Cup in it. You know what I mean? Like, probably won't do any online ones. Please beat USA, England. Seriously, if we don't lose to USA... If we lost to USA, I'd be embarrassed. Shout out Ethan, even though he's not going to start. I know it's already going to be Matt Turner. But yeah, if we lose to USA or Wales, I'll be fuming. Obviously, Wales being a rival. Iran, I wouldn't even be that annoyed. You know what I mean? Bielsa to Bournemouth, Tuchel to England, looking likely. I'll take flipping Tuchel because he's actually got a brain. Do you know what I mean? He's actually got a brain. Ecuador, says Brad. Okay. Fair enough. Probably won't do that. But I'll watch it. I'll watch it definitely. First game yet. I'll definitely watch it. Hello, says Blue Terrier. Big up yourself. I'll just spat all over my laptop. Yeah, fair enough. It is like, what is it, 1 p.m? So I'm not really, if you don't, then it is what it is. Cristiano Ronaldo, Suey. Oh yeah, talk about that. Have you heard Speed's new song, that World Cup song? I listened to it yesterday. Haven't heard from Harry. Know where he's been. I'm in a group chat with him. Let me just see if he's seen the messages. That's not that. I think he's all right. I know he's ill. He's recovering. So I don't know if he'll be at the first England game. But I don't know. He might pull up for one. I don't know. No, yeah, he's all right. He's all right. He's seen the group chat and that we're in. So, yeah, man. Hopefully he's recovering because, he's one of my mates, as you know, and his content's boss. Thoughts on Deji? Maybe, yeah, I'll talk about that quickly. Not too much. Mayweather was just playing with him, really, wasn't he? Credit to Deji though, for even stepping in, doing it. Obviously, I know it's an exhibition, gets good pay in that, but I don't think he done it just for that. I don't. But yeah, man, some of the fights on that card were not great, were they? It's annoying because I get hyped up just to watch these. Now I know half of them are not proper boxers, but still, gas just to watch a load of crap. Some of it, anyway. Bielsa shouldn't go Bournemouth. They should stick with Gary O'Neill. I think he might be going Luton, mate. I think Gary O'Neill might be going Luton. I've heard a little bit of speculation. So we'll see what goes on. Deji got schooled. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Mayweather, he's probably boxer, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's always going to happen. One of the best ever as well. So, He thought it back. Yeah, exactly. You got to give him credit for that. Yeah, exactly. And obviously there was that long build up to it, wasn't there? And yeah, that was annoying. But yeah, that is that. That is the end of the Premier League review. Like I said, Game Week 16 review. Like I said, next one will obviously be in a month and a bit's time. So yeah, man, big up yourselves. Big up Hanno for coming on at the start. Gary O'Neill would be a good appointment. Yeah, trust me, mate. Trust me, I think that might be happening. Because he said he don't want to confirm anything till it's officially true. You know, he done a massive lap around Bournemouth's ground as well, the Vitality, after their game. So we'll see. Like I said, as soon as we find out, or maybe not as soon as we find out, but a bit later on in the evening, me and my dad will do a Hatter show to it. So, yeah, man, big up yourselves. Stay safe. Take care. Subscribe. Like, all of that. Let's see the like count, actually, before we end up. 14 likes as of yet. I know people watch this on playback as well, so big up to yourselves. Big up. First ever time I've got money from a different country, from I don't know, literally their name. Sent $5, so big up yourself for that, mate. And like I said, all the money I receive goes into the channel. And yeah, man, I'll take that out soon and get some YouTube stuff. England will lose to Iran, by the way. Oh, don't even get me started. Probably will. Fair enough. I didn't even know that. Fair enough. But yeah, man, smash a lot on the stream if you haven't already. As for subscribers, let me just have a real look, see if we've got another one. Not today. But big up yourselves, like always. And yeah, man, smash a lot on the stream, subscribe, all of that. Hanno's links in the description. And yeah, man, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, see links to them are in the description as well. And yeah, subscribe to my other channel. And that is that. So until next time, whenever that is, stay safe, big up yourselves, take care. Peace up the Reds.